Great to have you here in London. What have you made of the experience and the fans here in the UK?
Well, I have not been out in the O2 Arena yet, but since I touched down on Wednesday, I've been really excited to get out there in the arena. I've only seen it on TV, and I know it's going to get rowdy. My wife and I spent a couple days here in London, did a couple appearances here, so everybody's just been awesome. And the European fans, the London fans have been absolutely immaculate thus far, so I'm excited for a good night of fights.
What do you make of the fights tonight? And obviously, Paddy Pimblett, what he's done for the country and the scene, obviously he'll be keeping an eye on you, and likewise on him down the line. What do you make of him as a character in the sport?
No, he's great, man. And Paddy and I have been in contact a little bit. You know, he's a guy who's in that perfect kind of that perfect position where I'm the guy. I'm going to be the champion here in the next 12 months. He's going to be nipping at my heels, coming into the top 15, coming into the top 10. But I don't have a scarcity mindset when it comes to other guys in my division, especially when I see guys who are doing it the right way, in my opinion. You know, he's a marketable guy. He's a happy guy. He's a fun guy. He's fun to watch. He's fun on the microphone. He's the total package. And people can hate on him all they want, but really they're just being haters because Paddy Pimblett's the total package. But can he put it together inside the octagon within the bells? And continue to keep winning. We'll see.
Speaking of Paddy Pimblett, his teammate Molly McCann fights again tonight, and she is owner of one of the best knockouts of all time. I'm putting you on the spot here. Who has the knockout of the year at the moment, you or Molly?
That's so funny, actually, because I just did an appearance yesterday, and I love being here in London, and everybody, obviously, big Paddy fans, big Tom Aspinall fans, big Meatball Molly fans. And yeah, I mean, I do believe that spinning back elbow clean KO was absolutely amazing. I hope my knockout holds on as KO of the year because I like to collect awards here inside the UFC, but she's definitely nipping at my heels. I think it's definitely her and I as the number 1 and number 1A knockout of the year thus far, but we're only in July, so we'll see. There's definitely a lot of time left inside the octagon for these fighters.
That call out that you did at the end of that fight is one of the all-time great promos in MMA, I believe. You've took to that side of it so well since signing with the UFC. Just in terms of what's next for you, I personally, and I think everyone in here, would love to see a fight between you and Dustin Poirer. Are you waiting to see what's going on with Conor McGregor? Is that what's going on right now?
No, as of right now, me and Poirier are the only guys that are not matched up inside the top 5. There's no, there's no secret. Dustin Poirer and I have been on a collision course to stepping inside the octagon. Beneil Dariush just got matched up. Obviously, Islam and Charles are fighting. Gaethje's out with a nose surgery, and I just fought Gaethje a fighter 2 fights ago. I think everybody calling out Conor McGregor, and I have called him out, but I've called him out in a respectful manner. Hey, Conor, when you're ready to come back, whenever you are ready, whenever the leg is 100% healed, because the sport of mixed martial arts, the UFC as a promotion is better with Conor McGregor in it, but we need to see a healthy Conor McGregor inside the octagon. So he doesn't need to rush back. We'll see when he comes back. So I'm not waiting. I think you're going to hear some fight news coming pretty soon, and it could be me and Dustin Poirier. We'll see.
Final one for me, Islam versus Charles. Who have you got in that one?
Charles Oliveira. I think Charles Oliveira gets the job done. I think Islam, not that he's not great, not that he is not highly touted, not that he is not going to be a future champion, but there should be no reason why he should ever be a favorite in that fight against Charles Oliveira. What Charles Oliveira has done over the last couple fights, finishing everybody that he's fighting, is nothing short of amazing. The resurgence of Charles Oliveira's career from relatively unknown, somewhat up and down, can't be relied upon journeyman to now a legitimate number 1 lightweight on the planet has been something to behold. So put some respect on Charles Oliveira's name. I think Charles Oliveira goes out there, and I honestly think he finishes him.
Brilliant. Thanks for your time.
Just over here. You mentioned obviously about Dustin Poirier. There was a little run-in with him, with you.
Was there?
UFC.
Was there?
276. Some kind of, can you elaborate on what happened there?
I can, yeah. I mean, I walked down there with my beautiful wife who's here with me in London, and we had our seats and we were walking over there, and the security guards came over there and basically, said something to the effect of, hey, he's not going to sit over there. And I thought, okay, that's interesting. And we walked over. All of a sudden, I heard some chirping, some very vile venom being spit in my direction. Didn't know if that was being thrown at me or not. I look over and Dustin Poirier is pointing at me. So he obviously had a bone to pick with me that night. Dustin Poirier, it's no secret. He's made it very known that he's ready for a fight. He is thirsty, very, very thirsty for a fight. So he's looking for anybody and everybody to throw venom at. I was the target that night, and I was just trying to watch some fights with my wife. So if you think that's the way that you're gonna get a fight with me, that's the absolute opposite way of getting a fight with me. I'm not here to be in physical altercations in a public forum, especially with my wife. So yeah, he was not happy with me that night.
Does that make it personal at all?
No.
Maybe on your side, or even do you feel that maybe on his side?
Yeah, maybe. I think there's a lot of confusion that can happen inside of mixed martial arts careers. You know, it doesn't matter if you're the number one guy in the world or the number 100th guy in the world. A lot of confusion can happen. You know, in his mind, he's got some ill will toward me, if you will. And it's going to make it that much easier to knock him out whenever he oversteps, if he and I do step inside the octagon. But I have not lost 1 minute of sleep thinking about Dustin Poirier, and I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing until a fight gets announced. And then I'm going to go out there and finish my next opponent and become the UFC champion next year.
So if that fight is to go down, how do you see it playing out? It's
going to be fun. It's going to be fun for you guys. It's going to be fun for me. It's going to be not fun for my wife. But I do think he and I are cut from the same cloth. You know, it doesn't matter if, you know, all personal attacks aside, all personal, you know, vendettas aside, I respect him, he respects me. That's the foundation by which we build on. That's the foundation by which that cage door closes, and we go out there and we compete. He's one of the best in the world. I'm one of the best in the world. I believe I'm going to be world champion. He believes he still can be world champion. Although I believe that more than he does, because he's talked about going up to 170. He's talked about retiring. He's said those words. I've not said those words one second. So the UFC goal will be mine. If Dustin Poirier is next to get to that, so be it.
And with that in mind, Volkanovski has expressed an interest in wanting to challenge for the lightweight title. How do you feel when someone from another division, a champion from another division, wants to come and claim the title that you're after?
You know, I mean, a lot of times it's different than if a guy like Volkanovski comes in. Volkanovski has legitimately cleared out the division. I do believe that. Do I think he could come up and not have to fight a Yair Rodriguez or a healthy Brian Ortega? That was an extremely close bout a couple months ago. You know, switching of weight classes is tough, especially when you're the champion. But you know, all I can do is put one foot in front of the other, say yes whenever I'm offered a bout, put my name in ink on paper, and do my job. I did see him after last fight, and you know, jokingly, tongue-in-cheek, told him, "Hey, stay down at 145. All right, 155 is stacked enough. All right, it's the most stacked division on the planet. We don't need any more killers coming up and adding to it." But I respect him as a champion. I respect him as a fighter, and you know, if I end up sharing the octagon with him, it'll be a pleasure.
And last one from me, Nate Diaz and Khamzat Chimaev. What do you think about that fight, and how do you see that playing out?
It's a tough fight. Khamzat, obviously, still undefeated. He beat my friend Gilbert. Very tough, very, very close fight. I think Gilbert put on much more of a performance than I think Nate Diaz is going to be able to withstand when you talk about a guy like Khamzat. Khamzat is a big human being at the 170, 185 division. So I think Diaz is going to be outmatched in pretty much every aspect of the game, but Nate Diaz is a gangster in every sense of the word, and it'll be fun. I'll be tuning in. But I do think Khamzat gets his hand raised that night. Thank you.
When something like the Dustin thing happens, does that actually fire you up more, or does it make you more roll your eyes and sort of think, oh, I don't even want to engage with this?
Completely roll my eyes. I mean, I didn't even really want to fight him from the very beginning. You know, I honestly thought Beneil Dariush being on the fight, the win streak that he was having, he was in a number one contender fight with him and Islam before he got injured. That was the fight that I thought that I would like to have to get me more toward the title than a guy like Dustin, who is talking about retiring. Might have 1 foot out the door. He's talking about going up to 170. He's got 1 foot out the door at 155. Does he still have that itch that we all have? we all want to be champion. He's just maybe trying to collect a paycheck. We don't know. But yeah, it was definite eye rolling. It was definite, and just number one, be a professional. You know, be a professional. We fight in a cage for money. You don't need to get into a verbal altercation in front of my wife and in front of the fans there at T-Mobile Arena to prove that you're a tough guy. But maybe he drank a little bit more hot sauce that night than he should have. But here we are. Either way, eyes rolled. Didn't want to fight him. If I have to fight him, if I end up fighting him, he's going to get knocked out.